The answer to a lot of the world's problems is wealth. I'm particularly passionate about my job because I facilitate the creation of wealth by helping people build their balance sheets. In other words, I help people build a net asset value so that they can become financially free. Net asset value is simply your total assets minus your total liabilities. And this is of considerable importance because financial freedom is when the income you derive from your assets exceeds your expenses. There are a lot of books and course material around building wealth through asset accumulation, and hundreds of online studies and talks breaking down financial literature to give people an understanding of how money is created. The problem with this is that this equation only addresses half the definition of what wealth is, as it tackles the how but does not address the more important fundamental question of why. So allow me to share some insights that will shift your paradigm and give you a better understanding of the full definition of wealth, and give you an understanding of why a lot of people are not wealthy, and the steps you can take today to put yourself in a position where you can start creating true wealth. Ayn Rand was a Russian-American philosopher, novelist, screenwriter, and playwright who put it best when she said, "Wealth is the product of man's capacity to think." So wealth is not just a financial phenomenon, but it is also a psychological phenomenon. It's not about seeking to have and have in abundance, but to create a framework of thinking that shapes what we do with what we have. This is an important framework to consider because without it, people embrace the wrong idea of what wealth is and follow it blindly. People associate wealth with having, and they think they will be happy and fulfilled if they just have more stuff. Society has brainwashed us to work hard at school so that we can get a job that pays us well, and we will be deemed as wealthy because we'll have more stuff. We'll have the car, we'll have the nice clothes, we'll have the watch, we'll have all these things that mean absolutely nothing. In fact, people are so obsessed with having that they're comfortable living beyond their means, incurring debt so that they can be seen as well off. A recent study was done by a debt management firm called Debt Rescue, and they found on average South Africans spend 70% of their monthly income paying off creditors. In fact, 60% of South Africans are overly indebted and struggling to make payments. I have seen qualified individuals working at great companies that pay them well make horrendous financial decisions simply because they have the wrong framework of thinking of what wealth really is. Wealth is an enabler. It enables you to live a fulfilled life where you're actively pursuing your purpose, not an accumulation of stuff. It's not about having, it's about what you do with what you have. And you will only be able to create wealth when the pursuit of your purpose drives your thinking. Your purpose comprises of three things. Number one, strengths, which are the abilities that when you do or perform, make you feel good and strong about yourself. Number two is passions, and these are the areas and causes that you are naturally drawn to that make you come alive. And thirdly, people, the community and society around you that you connect with and can have a direct impact on. Purpose is the sweet spot where your strengths meet your passions in a way that allows you to have an impact on people. Let me unpack this to show you that these concepts are not just idealistic ideas, but have a direct correlation and congruency to wealth. Let's first deal with passion. You will never really love what you do unless you're operating in the area of your passions, the areas that pull at your heartstrings. If you haven't discovered your passions, then it's worth taking the time to do some soul searching to really find the spaces where you can ultimately see yourself operating in forever. If you're not passionate about where you are, about where you work, about what you do for a living, then you're in trouble. Too many people make decisions about their life just based on money. I'll study this course so that I can qualify and get a job that pays me well. I can't leave this job I'm unhappy in simply because I need the money. The irony is that you actually stand to make more money by pursuing your passions. Because passion fuels drive and energy. You'll want to do more, which encourages entrepreneurship where you start innovating for growth. The second aspect about purpose is strengths. Marcus Buckingham is a global researcher and expert on talent, and he discovered that a lot of people are in roles where they're not really playing to their strengths. His research found that only 17% of people are in roles where they spend 75% of their time or more playing to their strengths. Only 17%. Most of us are struggling through life, forcing ourselves to do things that don't really make us feel great about ourselves. The idea here is that so many people spend a lot of time trying out different things in the pursuit of making money. And they miss the mark time and time again because the tasks that they encounter are not only difficult, but are not in line with their strengths. For example, you'll get people who see adverts about forex traders who make tons of money a day and they think they can do the same. So they buy the books, they register for the courses, they open up demo accounts, and they spend long, frustrating hours only to discover and realize that technical analysis of data and pattern recognition is not their strengths. Strengths are the abilities, skills, and competencies that, when you do or perform, energize you and make you feel good and stronger about yourself. We grow the most when we are playing to our strengths. You can learn any skill. You can learn to read business reports and find various investment opportunities. But if financial markets are not the area of your passions, and buying and selling shares and picking out stocks is not your strength, then you will never be devoted, patient, and committed enough to really build your strengths and get it to a place where you can commercialize it by impacting people. The third aspect about purpose is people. And more importantly, how playing to our strengths in the areas of our passion is having a positive impact to the communities and societies around us that we live in. We live in society and not just of society. So it's in our best interest that we lift society up so that not only can we get a sense of belonging, connection, and significance, but this creates very lucrative commercial opportunities. Peter Diamandis is a Greek-American engineer, physician, and entrepreneur. He is best known for being the founder of the X Prize Foundation and the co-founder and executive chairman of the Singularity University that's doing amazing work advocating for innovations that impact society positively. He is best known for saying, the best way to become a billionaire is to help a billion people. The world is filled with so many problems, and these problems can be solved by wealth. The true definition of wealth, not this empty, selfish mindset of having, but impacting people, which is the ultimate source of fulfillment. The crazy awesome part is that the world's problems present vast opportunities for heaps of financial resources as a byproduct for solving them. Stanford University, one of the most progressive and innovative academic institutions in the world, have launched what they call purpose learning as part of their Stanford 2025 program, where students choose missions and not majors. The idea here is that you're not studying to become something, but you choose a world problem that you're most passionate about, and then you study disciplines relevant to solving that problem. That is the future, and the future is already here. Wealth is a product of man's capacity to think. How we think shapes our lives, our influence, and our happiness. When the framework of our thinking is driven by our purpose, which is the sweet spot where playing to our strengths in the areas of our passions is impacting the people around us, then the decisions that we'll make will ultimately lead to financial freedom. Because we will not be concerned with having, but we will be more focused on what we do with what we have. Then we will be fulfilled. Then we will have true wealth.